Hey guys, so today I am going to give you some tips about using OPKs. If you're trying to conceive, you know that it's important to time your sex at the right time so that you can catch the egg. You don't want there to be too long of a distance between the different times you have had sex. This will help you know when is a good time to plan your intercourse with your partner, or when to inseminate if you are doing this on your own or as a female couple. There are stick tests, cassette tests, and midstream tests. I'll put pictures of all of them here. There are a few important things that you must know to get the most benefit out of using OPKs. Other than clear, blue, easy, digital OPKs, I don't know of any other test that wants you to test first thing in the morning. This is not a test that you do first thing in the morning. You want to do pregnancy tests with first morning urine, but not ovulation test. LH does not build up in the urine overnight like HCG does. So you're going to want to do these tests in the afternoon. Between 3 and 6 p.m. are the best times to do these. And you want to try to limit your liquid intake and hold it for as long as you can. Now, I have had friends who have gotten positive OPKs on no hold, completely diluted urine, and they were able to still get a positive. But that's not the norm, and you don't want to waste your money. So if you are able to, limit your liquids, try to hold it for at least 3 hours, and then test sometime between 3 and 6 p.m. But you want to try to test the same time every day. If you know that your break at work is at 3:30, test at 3:30 every day, but make sure you're doing it at the same time on the weekends too. So you want to test at the same time every day. You want it to be in the afternoon. You want to try to hold it and limit your liquid so you have a really good sample. You want kind of a dark urine. You don't want a diluted urine. You only want to dip the test or the number of drops or hold it in the urine stream or in your sample cup for the allotted amount of time. More is not better. If it says to hold in the urine sample for 3 seconds, 5 seconds is not better. What it's going to do is wash out the test. It's going to wash the urine and the dye stream right across the test, and it's not going to give it a chance to do what it's supposed to do. They give you numbers for a reason. Drives me crazy when I watch these videos and they're like, it needs 3 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't wash your test out. You're wasting your money and you're wasting your time. Don't do that. Put it in for the allotted amount of time. If it says 3 drops, put in 3 drops. If it says dip for 3 seconds, dip for 3 seconds. If it says dip for 10 seconds, dip for the whole 10 seconds. Don't come up short on that either. And make sure you read it in the right amount of time. OPKs, they're not quite like pregnancy tests. If you leave a pregnancy test for too long, you might get an evap line. Most of the time, you're going to see some kind of line on an OPK. LH is in our systems the majority of our cycle. So a lot of the time, you're going to have a faint little line. So it's not like you're going to get an evap line, but OPKs dry lighter. They dry wonky. They're not... If you've been using it for a while, you know that OPKs dry ugly. So you want to look at it at the right time, or you're not going to get a true reading of what the test is actually telling you. It may be positive, but you checked it after 20 minutes and the line's all faded and you're not sure exactly what you have. So if it says check in 5 minutes, check in 5 minutes. If it says check between 5 and 10, don't check past 10, or you're not going to get an accurate reading, and then you might miss your egg. It's also important to know what a positive looks like on an OPK. A line does not equal positive. The test line has to be as dark or darker than the control line. Just having a line there doesn't mean, woohoo, we're good to go. I mean, you're good to go as often as you want to go anyway. But if you're looking for an actual positive OPK, that test line has to be as dark or darker than the control line. And one more thing I want to mention, and I know I beat this horse into the ground, but you may not have seen my other videos, so I'm going to mention it again. Just because you get a positive OPK does not mean you for sure ovulated. It also doesn't mean you ovulated that day. So these are 2 things that kind of drive me a little bit bananas as someone who's been doing this for way too long. And I don't want you to make this mistake. I see this mistake a lot, and it can be a heartbreaking one. So I don't want you to make this mistake. Number 1, just because you get a positive OPK does not mean you ovulated. It means that your body was gearing up to ovulate. If something happened with that follicle and it did not rupture, There may be another mature follicle that's going to rupture a few days from then, but you don't know. You've done all your things, you had sex, and then you stopped because, you know, I don't want to have sex during my 2-week wait because I don't want to jeopardize and have a miscarriage. You know, a lot of people go on pelvic rest between their ovulation date and when they start testing, and that's perfectly fine. I've had multiple miscarriages, so I completely understand that. I'm not judging you at all if you decide to go on pelvic rest for those 2 weeks during your 2-week wait. But if you didn't ovulate and you ovulate maybe 4 or 5 days later and you're not having sex, you missed your egg. The way to know that you ovulated for sure is by temping. There's a video, I did a whole video on temping. You can click right up here to watch it. Temping is incredibly easy. I don't know why people are so scared of it. It's very easy. You pop a thermometer in your mouth and you write down the number. You just have to do it at the same time every day. Really, it's that simple. You pop it in your mouth, you write down the number. But this will show you for sure that you actually ovulated. That way you can get your DPOs correct and you make sure you don't miss your egg. The second thing that drives me crazy is people will get a positive OPK and they'll be like, I just ovulated. Well, no. A positive OPK means you're going to ovulate within the next 24 to 36 hours. You may ovulate the next day. You may ovulate the day after that. So now you're counting yourself tomorrow. Like, I got my positive OPK today, and tomorrow I'm counting it as 1 DPO. You may still be negative 1 DPO. That's why we temp. I threw it on the floor. That's why we temp, so we know for sure what day that you ovulated. But you may ovulate the day that you get your positive OPK, but chances are you didn't. So then you're going to be thinking, I'm 12 DPO and I'm still getting negative pregnancy tests. Girlfriend, you may only be 10 DPO. So it's important not to move too fast in that process. It's important to know exactly when you did ovulate. So do your OPKs, but temp too, so you know for sure that you ovulated. If you haven't been doing this for a while, if you are newly TTCing and you just want to do OPK so you can get a better idea, go for it, do your thing. But if you've been doing this for a while and you still haven't gotten pregnant, temp, because you may be missing something. And I don't want you to miss, I don't want anyone to have to TTC as long as I have been TTCing for this third baby. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions about OPKs, how to do them, how to read them, leave it below. I'd be happy to answer any questions. If you are able to answer any of these questions, please do so, but be kind about it. Don't be rude to each other. I won't tolerate it on my page. This is a conversation. I want everyone to feel free to express their thoughts, any questions they might have, any issues they've had with OPKs. Leave them. I'm happy to answer. And if you know the answer, please feel free. Share your experience, but be kind about it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button down below, and I will catch you guys next time.